August 2005, I was traveling through South Africa. I went from Cape Town to Johannesburg, visiting the beautiful countryside and many interesting people and organizations. On my way, I realized how many garden communities there are throughout the whole country. Community gardens are widespread, mainly because people, most of all in the townships, are extremely poor and need food. Most of the gardens are founded and supported by governmental agencies and NGOs. One should be aware that despite the fact that the black majority of the population gained political rights after the end of apartheid, most people are still very poor. The economic boost only pays off for a minority of the rich. In most cases, the neoliberal development has a negative outcome for the poorest. Health care and social benefits are not being invested into. Instead, they are made more expensive through privatization. In light of these facts, the official support for community gardens through the government has more of an alibi function. This becomes especially clear when you hear the health minister and the president Mbeki saying that HIV/AIDS would be treated more effectively through garlic than through medication, and therefore the government prefers to support gardens instead of medicinal treatment. Nevertheless, the community gardens are places of hope, solidarity, and sometimes of an active resistance against the official neoliberal politics. This is what I want to show you with this film. We will start in 2 projects near Cape Town. Those 2 neighborhood gardens are typically for the townships in the Cape Flats.
My name is Edith Nzonge.
Where are we now?
Now we are in a peace garden in Trifsense, women's peace garden in Trifsense.
What is a peace garden?
A peace garden is, this time we've got lots of worries and all that. If we come in the garden, we enjoy ourselves, we forgot about all our troubles. Then we work together and chat and eat vegetables.
How many people is it working in this garden?
We are 10 women. Well, this garden started in 1996 when everybody is out of work. So we sit together, we are women, we sit together and we talk about what can we do to be together, to pull the community together so that we can make something for the poor and we can make something for ourselves and our children. Some people have own 6 plots and some own 8 plots. Those plots, a person can sell, a person can eat from those plots. We've got beetroot, spinach, turnips, cauliflower, cabbage, potatoes, green pepper, chilies, lavender and rosemary. We can use it for medicine. You see, now it's winter. Lots of people, they come and buy the lavender for the cold, They boil it for the cold and drink it. We came here 1990, 10th October 1990, and we were staying in shacks. Then 94, we had these houses. Yeah, in October month 94, we had the houses.
Did you have to fight for it?
Woo, quite a lot, my dear. You're telling me. We fight a lot here, but we did stay there.
How's the situation like now?
The situation is very nice, man. No fight, no nothing here. You can't get anybody dead in the morning. It's a very quiet place. Because even our garden there, we don't lock it. We haven't got a lock. Nothing disappeared here. The name of the other garden is Masihlume Healthy Soup Kitchen. so that we can grow vegetables that we can make soup from.
Whom are you giving the soup to, and how much do they pay for it?
We are giving this soup to the disabled, and we are selling some soup cheaper, 50 cents, 1 rand, to the community.
My name is Fabian. I'm working for a little NGO called Soil for Life. We're based actually in Constantia, but we work all over the Western Cape. Its main aim is to provide food security for the poverty-stricken areas. So we are trying to teach the communities how to set up organic food gardens. Well, at the moment we are maintaining about 27 gardens. There's a lot going on here all over the Cape Flats, in the township areas, as well in the more rural areas. Now there's huge demand. Soil for Life, we're just four people, and we have some community workers as well. But we have demand every day. Like we can't stop working. It's far too much. But there are I'd say 2 or 3 other NGOs in Cape Town who work in the same field. So we can cover quite a lot. But their communities are always interested. We get a lot of requests for more gardens. We have to raise funds from either the government or public authorities, which are the main donors actually, as well as the big companies who have their sort of, it's called corporate social investment. So like let's say 1% of that tax profit they just provide for projects like this.
The money there you're spending on what kind of stuff?
Oh, it's basically for the seedlings, for all the plants and things. Then there's a lot of infrastructure. Most of the time, it's not only about a garden. For example, might see in the background there's a soup kitchen here. So the soup kitchen has initial costs. For example, the container, the gas stove, and all these things. Well, we are basically working with adults. So we're trying to get those people together who are unemployed within a community and who don't see a chance whatsoever to get a job. Most of the time they're female, because like the male workers sometimes get a job here and there or do some parking attendance or whatever it is. Basically these projects all start from scratch, and the initial thing is like a little bit of land. For example, this land belongs to the school, but the school doesn't have any need for it, so the community was allowed to set up the gardens here. If the people really are on the rock bottom and don't have any money whatsoever to provide for their own food, then they will first eat the vegetables they grow. Afterwards, if the garden produces some excess, they will try to sell it to get some income to pay for school fees and things like that. And as soon as the gardens are running, we always think a step further. So we have to think about entrepreneurship, so that people can start generating the income, and the soup kitchen is one example in that direction, because the soup kitchen, they can generate money as well as provide cheap food to the community, because the community that works in the garden is are not the only people who are starving. Like a big issue is the water, so it's sort of, particularly in the summer, very, very dry. So you can collect water from the roofs of the soup kitchens and store it in big tanks, and you have drip irrigation systems, and you always have to cover the soil with straw or something so it doesn't evaporate and things. So like you have to be very careful with this kind of climate and the kind of soil, but it's absolutely workable, and you don't have to use any chemical fertilizers or something.
My experience with the NGOs is that some of the NGOs are good. They can work with the communities, they can help the community-based organizations. But there are NGOs who are pocketing a lot of money using the name of the community-based organizations, claiming that they will be providing training, capacity training for developing or building the community-based organizations. Meanwhile, you'll find the very same NGOs are just empowering themselves, and then you can visit their offices in the suburbs. The suburbs is where these so-called rich people are living in. You'll see in their offices sitting in their posh chairs, posh desk, driving posh cars, claiming that they are representing the poor communities. We have a lot of organizations who misused funds that were supposed to come and help these poor communities.
I'm Regina.
Where are we now?
We are in a community garden in Fezeka. The name of the project is Masncedane Maskulisane.
What does it mean in English?
Is to help us to grow up and do veggies for the people.
And is it the only community garden in Gugulethu?
No, there are many community gardens.
How many people are you feeding?
I think it's almost 50 people we are feeding.
My name is Shaba. August I'll be 75.
And you still have fun working in the garden?
Yes, and I like it very much.
There is no food, there is no work. We are old, we can't sit at home the whole day to do nothing. That's why now we come here to keep ourselves busy.
Now we are eight women, 1 man.
The men ran away, that's why now we are 8.
Why do you think it's the men that run away?
Because there is no money.
My name is Isabel Weindl and I'm a volunteer of Abalimi. I work here now since May and I will continue my work until end of July. I'm very happy to work here on this Fezeka garden project. I enjoy to have learned something about organic gardening and to meet all the people around here.
The compost is important in the garden. It makes a food very nice. You put like this, and you put it the other one, and you put it the other one also all this place.
I went on search for community gardens that go beyond the mere production of groceries. And I found many exciting projects. For example, the Greenhouse Project, an ecological project center that includes a 2,000 square meter community garden. The Greenhouse Project is located in the center of Johannesburg and appears as an oasis in the midst of traffic, noise and crime.
We are in the middle of the city on the 5th floor of Carlton Center, which is the high-rise building. Right there is a greenhouse where I work. you can see that it's a very dense populated city. Lots of people staying here, but very little green stuff.
My name is Dora Lebilo. I'm the Executive Director at the Greenhouse Project. The vision of the Greenhouse Project is that Johannesburg becomes a green city. And we're hoping to do that by building a demonstration of green living and development in the inner city of Johannesburg. Really to demonstrate the various alternatives that people can start doing in and around the city, in a place that can be an inspiration to demonstrate technologies that are appropriate to Africa and South Africa. Because Earthlife Africa, which is the organization that studied the greenhouse, has been criticized by government saying, you always give us models and alternatives that are not applicable to Africa, which are coming from Europe and other countries. And I think what the greenhouse is trying to do is just to showcase, the kind of things that we can start doing that are just doesn't cost money. They just need creativity, and there are a whole lot of opportunities for income generation or businesses. For example, just using kind of simple techniques to harness the sunlight to heat up water and to start cooking. These are some of the things that the poor communities in South Africa can start exploring, and the greenhouse is about that. We're creating a whole lot of on-site demonstrations around green building, water and sanitation, alternative sanitation, as well as energy and energy efficiency. And again, we're doing on-site demonstration on organic gardening to integrate all this aspect into social housing. It will become a home base for environmental community groups operating in the townships in and around Greater Johannesburg. We've started with our demonstration gardens long before we came on site in 2001, working with the youth around here, as well as working with inner city crashes to train them on how to grow vegetables, how to integrate the food that is being generated out of the garden into the menu that they're having for the children in the crashes. We've got 2 people full-time who are looking after the gardens, Sabelo and Doreen, and occasionally we've got students who come and volunteer their time to help look after the garden, and we've got other groups in the inner city who are wanting to start up their own gardens who come here to come and learn.
Okay, my name is Sabelo Mtungi. I've been volunteering here ever since 2003, and I'm still volunteering here. I'm from Natal, but I'm staying here in Joburg in Peria. Yeah, and I like volunteering here. And this one here is my garden. We're planting here things to sell and eat here for lunch. Here we have spinach. So we are doing like intercropping, because plants also help each other if we are like mixing plants, because some of them bring nitrogen to the soil, some of them repel insects. Actually, I like working here in greenhouse because I like gardening, and I have passion for environment. So because I also grew up in Natal, where I grew up doing the farming. So I like to carry on with it, since it's in my blood, and also it provides us with food and saving money. I also like to hold workshops and being a facilitator and making the community aware, because I like working with people. People living around this neighborhood, most of them are people who are disadvantaged, and they don't work. They're always welcome. They come here to volunteer and they take spinach home. We also give them advice how to create space for themselves, even though they're staying there. We have barrel gardens and container gardens, so we also hold workshops teaching them how to start their organic gardens.
My barrel gardening I make with soil and half-done compost and a few manure, and then I mix it. I put a wire and then I make it around. I put the plastic to make it nice, and then I put soil half 35 centimeter. When I put 35 centimeter, I watered that layer. I put plastic on top. I make the other layer. I make it 20 centimeter. Again, I watered. I make the third layer. I make the same thing. If I make the layer, I put a pipe. This pipe I watered from bottom layer. The second one is for the second layer. The third one is for the third layer, and then on top I watered direct. I cut it when I want to put my seedling here. It'll be simple. Okay. And when the spinach is finished here, I take it out. I cut another place to put another seedling or lettuce, beans. Here, look, they have a tomato here. My garden is a permaculture garden, and it's an organic garden. I'm working with herbs, indigenous herb and African herb, and it's a medicinal plant. And the other plant I know from at home, because my grandmother worked with mutis. This is my wild daga. Wild daga is for cold and flu, itching, stomach pain, and asthma. Here there's another herb here. It's the first aid herb. You can use as a burning, rash, eczema, and you can use as a lipstick. It's a good herb. You see?
Okay, what you see here is beetroot. So we left it to grow and make seeds, because you find most of the shop where they're selling seeds, you find that they have chemicals on seeds and they are not organic. So by this way, we are growing our own seeds. We don't have to go to the shop to buy some seeds.
Yeah, it's my seed bank here. The place where I save my seeds, because the seeds, they want a dark place. Here there is a beetroot. You see? A sweet seed.
This is our grey water system, and these pipes takes the water from the kitchen, from the sink that we use in the kitchen, and it comes here. And these are the water purifying plants. So this grey water is being purified by these plants, and that is our composting toilet. You see, these pipes is preventing the toilet from smelling, because you see it's in the office, and there it's where the compost gets in, and it helps the compost to get dry faster. After 4 to 5 months, we empty the compost, we take it and put it in our trees or flowers.
I'm Lynn Brown. I'm working with the Greenhouse Project, and it's a very exciting project to be working with. One of the great things that's happening at the moment is the earth building, which is construction is commencing at the moment, and the plan is that this becomes a conferencing centre, and out of that conference centre we are wanting small businesses to develop from local community people who can support us in all sorts of ways, including through our gardening initiative, and we'll be supplying visitors to the Greenhouse Project with lovely organic meals that are cooked from our garden. Soweto, the huge township close to Johannesburg. Here, I visited a self-organized community park.
My name is Archie. I'm from Soweto in South Africa.
What's your name?
Oh, my name is Vincent.
Where are we right now?
Now we are at Typhoon's Park. That was used to be a dumping place. Then we changed this dumping place to be a park so that the children can play here. Actually, this park, it is for the community and it was supported more especially by the community of this neighborhood. Yes, unemployment is very high. People do have skills and so on. Yeah, they do want to do something out of their life and get a living. Yeah, so we don't depend on government to do things like that. The government will just add or give us something to sponsorship or what, yeah. But it all depends on us because we are the people who are living in this area.
At the park, it's only guys. Women, they did step back.
Why?
Maybe they did see they've got no money, they earn nothing.
Fruit and Tree for Africa came to the guys and said, we can offer you such things. To use those equipment to maintain the park, but as well to generate money for ourselves. We get water from the neighborhood. Sometimes we use that tap, sometimes we use that tap from the neighborhood. Now I think if they bring prepaid meters, we won't get any water anymore from the neighborhood. Now we are getting water from the neighborhood because we are using a flat rate. Guys from Germany must try to create jobs for themselves. They must take an example from us. We did take an effort to make the park like this one without looking to any government or to any councillor, to any what, because always there is a budget. So if you go to approach the government and say, hey, we want to make a park and so on, you must fund us, they will tell you that, that thing is not in our budget. So they must just take an effort. So things will change for them.
Last but not least, I visited the big community garden in Orange Farm. Inspired by this self-organized garden project, many productive political projects have evolved time after time.
My name is Gladys Mokolo from the Itoseng Women's Project.
What does it mean?
Itoseng means wake up women. Here we are in Orange Farm. Orange Farm is about 45 kilometers south of Johannesburg. This project started in 1997 after our government introduced this gear policy. Then we've realized that most of the people, they lost their jobs and people are hungry, they are not working. Then we said, no, as women, as Orange Farm, what we can do. We started planting in our own yards. And then after we realized that now this thing is becoming big, and then we say, how about maybe to go to school? Maybe they can give us this piece of land because it was the unused land. And when we started working, we didn't even have anything like equipments. Everyone was just bringing whatever she got from his home or her home. Then we've started doing the garden. We've got the funds from the UNDP, United Development Program. women who are working on the project, they are bringing children in the project. We've started with about 9 kids from the garden. Then we've accommodated the kids from the community. And then we'll be able to give some 3 women just a job. We concentrated on the women because the women who are the people who are the first people when maybe there is hunger in the house. The women is the first person that you will feel there's something wrong. I must stand up and see what I can give to the kids. You see, that is why most of them they've stand up and come to the project and start working. When we've started this project, we are about 15 women and 5 men. But now what is impressing, the membership of the project has grown up to 76. And the men will understand the objectives of the project. We do work with them. We've got about 25 gardeners who are volunteering, who are getting 15 rand a day.
But 15 rand a day is not a lot.
No, it's very little. It's only to buy bread. You know, it's only to buy
But
bread.
the people still are coming.
They're still coming because they say they're not doing anything at all. Instead of they're frustrated, you know. So when maybe they are working collectively, they are coming together, they do give each other advices. You see, they're even, you know, taking out the stress. Yes, we are working together with Orange Farm Water Crisis Committee, the one that is fighting for the social issues in the communities. Why we are involved there is because we as the women in Orange Farm, we do face some problems if the water is privatized. So all the basic services have been privatized, and that's the main thing that are affecting us as women.
My name is Richard Briggs Mokolo. I'm the organizer of the Orange Farm Water Crisis Committee that was formed after the introduction of water prepaid meters in my community. The organization was formed to oppose water privatization. As majority of our people in my community are unemployed, they are going on bed with empty stomach. Now people cannot afford to pay for water. When we were fighting against apartheid, you know, people thought after removing apartheid, life will be better to all. Immediately after the elections, 1996, after people being, you know, retrenched from work, and people being evicted from homes, they realized that now we are facing the second phase of the struggle, because we are facing not similar development with people who are living in the black townships and the people who are living in the white communities. The government is also taking development into the hands of the private sectors, for private sectors to make profit out of development. Now it's becoming worse for the poor people to access development. Companies like Eskom, they do cut electricity for the very same poor people who were made poor by the apartheid. That is why we have so many marches on the street in South Africa. You see people demanding better services for all. We managed to go to the area where prepaid meters have been installed to encourage people to destroy water prepaid meters so people can access free water without any fear.
This is a borehole. This is our prepaid machine. So we have bridged this. You see, we are no more buying.
And I think the people in Africa haven't started looking at the potential of this natural resource that we have. Because people are sort of trapped in this mentality saying, we need to wait for the government, we need to wait for the West to start developing things so that we can, sort of come out of our own poor backgrounds. But there's so much more.